All right, YouTube, what's happening? I got another knife video for you today. Got an interesting knife here from Hoback Knives. Now, if you're familiar with the knife community for a long time, Jake Hoback's been on a long time. His Quakeback was very infamous, and it still is to this day. But a lot of times they were hard to get. They were custom knives. They were more difficult to get your hands on. And lately, I've been noticing he's been producing more and more models, like the Radford here, and kind of making them a little bit more affordable, even for the average everyday Joe. So let me look at this cool presentation box first. You slide that off. You got your adjustment tools here for your pivot and your body screws. You got Hoback knives, Psalms 23, which I dig. Then you've got the Radford specs. So this guy has a 3.25 inch blade of 20 CV, 4.675 in the handle. Overall length is 8 inches, which is really nice. 0.15625 inches blade stock, I'm assuming. Doesn't say. Yes, blade stock. Stonewash handle on that is titanium. And then you have, this says dark green micarta. Guys, that is definitely natural micarta, or brown micarta. Kind of a misprint on there. So it comes in this cool wood presentation box, which is cool. So you get a lot of presentation, a lot of goodness here. These are made in the US, and they come in a price point about $4.95. This is on loan from Blade Ops. Wanted to check one of these out. They had one in stock, so I said, hey, let me do a video, and they were all about that. So we went over the specs. It does have a few more specs on here. This is a flat ground blade. Has a interesting kind of an upswept tanto design on the blade shape. And you also have a handle thickness of 0.514. It does run on the roller back detent, and it has a pivot. It has bearings for the pivot. So Hoback's kind of known for his detent. Also included a pretty cool little lock insert, steel lock bar insert that acts as an over travel as well, as you can see here. So overall, well-designed knife. I love the aesthetics of this knife because I love micarta and titanium together. It's a great combination. But I also like how the handle, the blade is actually like completely enclosed in the handle. Like there's no blade, so it makes for a really slim carry. When you carry this in your pocket, it's going to be very slim. It is a kind of a Hinderer style clip, funny enough. Let's look at the Hinderer clip next to it. Looks like a very similar hole pattern almost. Very Hinderer style on the clip there with the Hoback logo on there, which I like quite a bit. Nice touch. And you've got Hoback up here and the Psalms 23, which I dig that as well. Again, long strand lock bar insert, nicely centered, titanium backspacer, obviously a flipper. Handle ergonomics are really good. It kind of looks like a funky handle shape, right, when you first look at it. It's pretty neutral though, so it works really well with my hand. Very comfortable in the hand. So really good ergonomics on this guy. The clip is reversible right or left hand carry as well. You can definitely feel this detent, overcoming that detent. You're not going to get a drop shut action, I don't think. Maybe with a little adjustment you might, but you're really gonna have to overcome that detent at the top there, which makes it a little more difficult to get that drop shut action if that's what you're after, if that's important to you. Otherwise, the flipper tab is very small and easy to get to, but it's not obnoxiously huge, and it just flips really nicely. Like it's very difficult. I can light switch it. Push button's not, it's more of a light switch for sure. Action on there. Flips out very nicely. Again, you're not gonna get that, you'll get a drop shut right out there, but that detent's gonna hold you up from that until you overcome it. But really nice action and flipping action on this. So let's do some size comparisons. I think this size of knife is about perfect, about as big as I wanna go. But a really good size for EDC, 8 inches overall length. If you look at the fire tack, it's very, pretty much the same size. Let's look at the Eclipse here. Right around this, maybe a titch smaller than the Eclipse, more like the fire tack size. How about a smaller knife? This is VB Elementum. Give you kind of a size comparison there. So, good size knife, not too big, not too small. Really good size for EDC. The weight on this guy is 3.8 ounces, so it's very light. It's lighter than that fire tack even. Because of the show side micarta scale, no liners. You're just one solid piece of micarta here, and then you've got the titanium frame lock. So it makes for a very light knife as well. At 3.8 ounces with, you know, a good sized blade, I like the weight on this. That's definitely a selling point. So you got a nice lightweight, full size knife that you can EDC. Very slim in the pocket. If you take my calipers here, you're gonna have some really slim dimensions on this guy. So this way is under 0.5, so under half an inch, and this way is under an inch, where most knives exceed that in the pocket and the width. Like, think about, let me grab a Spyderco. They're inherently wide because of the Spidey hole. So if you look at the difference here, because of that Spidey hole, you're at 1.6 inches. So it's under, this one was just shy of an inch, I believe, thick. So it's really slim. I shouldn't say thick, wide. Very slim. Let me think if I have something similar to compare it to. Yeah, the bug out. You know, it's not that similar, but as far as dimensions go, bug out's gonna be thinner, but it's also gonna be even a little bit wider. So this is even slimmer, right? Yeah, slimmer in your pocket than a bug out. So very slim in the pocket, lightweight for its size. Overall, just a really good design and a good carry. So price point on these guys is just shy of 500 bucks for this particular model. There's also a dark green micarta for the same cost. There's a full titanium. There's one with this Mexican blanket G-Carta. That one's a little bit more expensive at $525. The Starry Night G-Carta is $525. The dark green is $445. Oh, for some reason the green micarta is $445. This one's $495. Weird. So you're ranging anywhere from $445 and up for this, which, you know, I know a lot of people say that's an expensive knife. It is, but it's also a very small production. I don't know if he considers these customs or just his production line. I know they're made in the US. I don't know if he makes them all at his facility or if it's done by someone else, but, or if he like does most of it in, you know, old mid-tech style where he would, not necessarily him, but other makers would, you know, set out the blades and stuff for water jetting, and then he does everything else. I'm not sure the process on these for that. So price point wise, you're looking in the same realm as a Hinderer. It's actually more expensive than a Hinderer, and you're looking into the same price range as like a Chris Reeve, you know, compared to other similar American-made companies. Less than a Koenig, less than a Holt, you know, a lot of those. So, you know, you're in that ballpark. Fit and finish, I would say, is really good. The action leaves something to be desired. I think it's just because of that roller detent. And flipping action is good, but you're not going to get like super drop shut action if that's something you're after. Ergonomically and such, it's great. The thinness behind the edge, if I remember right, was pretty good on this. Yeah, we're about 16 thousandths behind the edge. So it's pretty thin. It's going to cut well. The only downside I would say is this grind. I'm not a huge Tanto fan, but this is kind of like this upswept Tanto. So it's even honestly a little even stranger. Aesthetically, it looks cool. Functionality wise. So even the Tanto is only about 17 thousandths behind the edge. It's a little thicker there towards the tip. So I don't know. This blade shape leads a little to be desired for me. I would prefer a more traditional drop point, but it looks cool, and I know that's kind of his thing with the Quake back and, you know, the Quake-in style blade. Maybe that's what he was going for on this too, is more of a Quake-in style blade. So anyways, guys, that's going to wrap up this video on the Jake Hoback Radford Flipper. Let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think about these guys? I think he was, you know, always made such big knives. I like this size. It's right, perfect size for me. What I like, and I like that he's come out with a smaller knife. But he did, you know, it's a completely new design. It's not the same thing as a Quakeback. So he didn't just shrink the Quakeback down. He made a whole new design out of this. So let me know your guys' thoughts on the Radford, what you guys think about this one, and we will see you on the next video.